It says we are on the air. Good morning, everybody. It is December 1st. Can you believe it? This year has blown by. Absolutely unbelievable that we're in the last month of the year. And today, what I want to do, what I promised you I was going to do a couple lunches with Lens ago, is I want to talk about some of the concepts of monetizing your blog. And quite honestly, most of what I'm going to talk about today comes directly out of Ray Higdon and out of the 3-Minute Expert. So we've been over a lot of it, but I still see some people not using all the concepts. And so I'm going to just go back through them and, take a look at your own individual blogs and make sure you're doing all the stuff. And I can tell you that of the things that I've been implementing, they really are helping. I'm really seeing more and more engagement on the blog. So anyhow, let's get going. There's a lot to cover. I'm going to go share the screen, and Bill's over here, as you all know, brought him over for eyes and ears so we don't have a repeat of what happened last Tuesday, where we lost the screen share and didn't know it for a long time. Anyhow, here we go. Screen share, entire screen share. And I'm going to assume that you can see my screen. And yes. I'm going to start with a list of 14 things. Again, this list comes directly from a piece of the 3-Minute Expert, a module in there called Monetizing Your Blog. I've added a few things, but most of it comes directly from Ray. And I'm just going to run down this list, and I'm not going to read the list. I'm going to actually show you this stuff. But let's start with item number 1, using related keywords and also linking to authority sites. Let's take those things together. And I'm going to show you examples. I've actually set up my blog so that I can just show you. Ray uses his blog as examples. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you my blog. Hello, Michael. So here's this blog. I wrote a post the other day called "How to Become an Expert." And I'm going to just go to the whole thing. The first thing about how to become an expert is I'm going to actually go to the editor, and I'm going to show you. We're using Yoast SEO here, and that's important. That is a deviation from this 14 things that Ray's talking about. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But in this one, the focus keyword is how to become an expert. So that's the focus keyword. Bear that in mind for just a moment. So the first thing is, of course, we have a focus keyword. Now, the first thing that Ray mentioned was to use associated keywords in the text. So let me show you. We go on out to Google, and we simply Google how to become an expert. In case anybody has forgotten how to do this, we're going to simply put in the keyword. We're going to Google it. And then at the bottom of the page, Google comes up with searches related to how to become an expert. So what is the best way to become an expert? What makes someone an expert? What does it mean to be an expert? So these are some related keywords that, if you can, work them into the blog without making the blog sound funny. Okay, so that's sort of important. I'm just going to close this particular window now. And Bill, I'm assuming you can see everything.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to close this window now just to get just so I'm not using the bandwidth, because I don't need it anymore. So if we come back to my post, you're going to see, and I highlighted these, made them bold so that I could find them easily. So what does it mean to become an expert? That's one of the associated keywords. The best way to become an expert. So you see what I've done is that I've sprinkled the associated keywords into the blog, and I've done it. If you read this, it'll read pretty smoothly. It's done in such a way that it doesn't sound like I just stuffed it. So associated keywords. Now, according to Ray, a blog can rank for more than one keyword. It can rank for hundreds of keywords. So that would be hard to do. But in this case, hopefully this blog will get at least some ranking for the primary keyword, how to become an expert, and maybe it'll get ranking for a couple of these other keywords. I don't know. This is a brand new blog, so it hasn't had time to do any ranking yet. Next point, linking to authority sites. In this particular case, I quoted Wayne Dyer, and so I linked directly to Wayne Dyer's website, and also linked directly to his book. And I believe this is a link to Amazon. But so, you know, when you come and you read this blog, there are links to other authority sites. And according to everybody, that really raises the possibility that the blog is going to be able to be ranked. It gives it more credibility. And so if you go back through and look at my blog posts, I've been doing more and more of this sort of thing, and been trying to find authority sites. Now, there's another way to do authority sites here, by the way. Of course, maybe I shouldn't have closed Google quite so quickly, but if I do the keyword again, how to become an expert, here, 3 simple ways to become an expert in anything. How to become an expert witness. Well, we're not talking about expert witnesses. 7 steps to becoming an expert in your field. Now here, entrepreneur.com is an authority site. So if I wanted to, and I didn't do it in this one, but if I wanted to, I could just go to this article, read the article, find a quote in it somewhere that fits right into mine, and then be able to link to this blog or this site also. So that's another way to do it. I didn't do that in this case, but it's a good idea. Okay, so that's some of the things. Now, let's go on down this list. SEO Doctor. He uses a thing in Firefox called SEO Doctor, and it is Firefox specific. I've never used it. I can't really tell you much about it, but as you know, and as we've talked about, what we are using and what I am using here is the Yoast SEO plugin. So it appears to me that Yoast SEO does everything that SEO Doctor does. I don't see any differences. And in another one of Ray's blog posts, he recommends Yoast SEO, and of course Rob 4 recommends Yoast SEO. And we talked about how to use Yoast SEO in a lunch with Len a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not going to go over Yoast SEO today, but I can tell you this: if you're not using it or one of the tools like it, you're making your life much more difficult, because this thing is, I've absolutely, totally, completely fallen in love with this plugin and how much easier it makes it to find all the little things in your blog that you want to find, and to fix them so that it's in compliance with what Google wants to see. So that's that. Let's see what's next on the list. Next on the list is the PS line. I have noticed a couple blogs recently that just aren't using this technique, and I don't know why you wouldn't do it. So let's go down to the bottom of this blog post. If you look at my blogs now, pretty much ever since the 3-Minute Expert came out, almost every blog post I have has this at the bottom of it. It starts with that right there. Did this help you? And in this case, did it help you think about the question, how to become an expert? Because that's what we're talking about. If so, I'd greatly appreciate you comment below, share it on Facebook. And then it's got the information about the blog, and etc. And then it's got the PS line. PS, click here if you want to learn more. And every blog post I write has this in it now. It also has this click to tweet. So right now we're looking at the editor. Let me probably, if I close the editor, am I gonna, yeah, I wanna go back to the site. So let me just go get that blog, get it up here. And so the things that are down here now are how to become an expert. And that, I think I have that going right back to MLSP Mastery right now. And so that's where that one's going. I think this one is going to the same place. If you want to learn more, click here. going back to MLSP Mastery. So I've been driving traffic to MLSP Mastery, and I am starting to see results from that. I'm getting leads, opt-ins that are coming in from these blogs. They're clicking on these links and they're going and opting in. So it seems to be working. It's taking some time. And remember, Rob Force showed that it took a long time to build these things up. So it seems to be taking some time, but it also seems to be working. So, and then there's the retweet button here. So if you just click on this, it retweets. Okay. So here, if you don't have a PS line in your blog, I strongly recommend that you do it. And again, you can just come to mine and copy, starting with the word, did this help you think about the question, whatever the question happened to be, or the topic, whatever it was. This is plagiarized directly from Ray. It's almost word for word what he has in his. There are some slight variations. Of course, I have my picture, not his, etc. But it's very similar. So anyhow. All right. Yeah.
We have a question.
Okay.
What theme are you using in sites?
What theme? This happens to be Optimized Press.
So this is on sites, is it?
This one is not on sites. This is my Len Mooney blog. Okay. I'm doing the same thing on sites. If you go over to sites, I've got several blog posts up on sites, and I'm doing the same thing. Everything's really consistent. It's just that it's a different theme over there, and quite frankly, I forget the name of the theme that I'm using on sites. So this one again is Optimized Press, and it's been updated so that in principle it is the mobile friendly version. Okay. Traveling on. Use your own pictures when appropriate. And that's something I'm going to start to do more of. Again, it's Ray's advice. I mean, I do have a picture of me there. This one is not a picture of me. It's one I went out to Google and got. But using your own picture when appropriate, he thinks that helps you rank a little bit more, a little bit better. So we're doing that. I'm doing more of that. Next point. Start a blog tribe. All right. For those of you who know, this is what we have attempted to do. Myself, Chris, Michael started ABCs of Blogging. It's a Facebook group. And that is exactly what Ray is referring to as a blog tribe. It's a group of people who are commenting and sharing each other's blogs. Now, we've had rather poor participation in that group, and I don't know why, but if you have a blog, you ought to be using that group. And we've set the rules not very stringently at all. Most blog tribes or most of these review sites want you to comment on 5 different posts before you post your own. We've set the number at 2. If you comment at 2 and then post your own, and we haven't really strictly enforced it. In fact, I will admit that I'm one of the guilty party, and every now and then Chris comes after me and slaps me on the butt and reminds me that I haven't commented on people's blogs for a couple days. So thank you, Chris, for that. I appreciate it. I get sidetracked, and that's not a good excuse. I don't have any good excuse. But if you have a blog, you ought to join up with us in the ABCs of Blogging. Post your blog post there, and comment on a couple of ours, and we'll comment on a couple of yours. And the more of that we can do for each other, the more we can help each other rank our blogs. So just do it. Just get involved and do it. We've set the rules so that they're not very strict at all. You don't have to spend a lot of time every day doing this. And in fact, we have such poor participation right now that you can't spend a lot of time doing it. So we'd like to get the participation up. So we do have a blog tribe. It started. It's up to you to jump in and become part of it. Uh, Ray recommends using Google Webmaster Tools. I do have it. I do have it installed. I'm not familiar enough with it. I haven't used it enough for me to go ahead and demonstrate it or comment on it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass over Google Webmaster Tools right now. But I do have it there. And as I learn more about it, maybe one of these days I'll do a little training on it. If you have a blog post that is ranking for a keyword, go back and edit it and sprinkle in some related keywords. So again, you can rank for more than one keyword in a blog post. And then have a posting strategy. Now, what does he mean by that? Well, what he means by that is there's two things here. How often are you going to post? When are you going to post? And what are you going to do? And I have a whole other list of things that I don't think we're going to have time to go over today about where he posts his blogs at. And here's the list of where he posts at. Don't try to read this list. Again, it's already 10 to the hour almost. I probably won't cover this today. Maybe I'll go over it on Thursday because there's a few things here that I'd like to demonstrate for you to be sure everybody knows how to do it. But I do have an Excel spreadsheet, and I'd like to go over that with you too, and probably, again, we'll do it on Thursday. But when I publish a blog, once my blog is up and published, there are several things that I do with it. Not every blog post turns into an e-zine article, but many of them do. And the reason is not everyone I write is appropriate for e-zine. Sometimes I just haven't done a good enough job that I want to be bothered with it. So, but many of the blog posts, this one, in fact, this one that we're talking about today, How to Become an Expert, was just accepted and published this morning on e-zine articles. I also use Spin Distribute, and I use OnlyWire, and of course I use Facebook. So probably, again, like I said, we will probably go over that list on Thursday, and I'll show you some of the things that I'm doing and some of the things that Ray recommends. So have a posting strategy. Get video testimonials, have them transcribed. If you can get somebody to do video testimonials for you about your blog, and how well it's done, etc., that's what he's talking about. And then he has them transcribed. I haven't used rev.com. He uses rev.com. There's another service I use. I forgot the name of it right now. But again, having them transcribed so you can have both a video and also just a text version of it, and get people to scroll. So if you go back and look at this blog that I had up there, hopefully it entices people to scroll, because you can see that there's something below the fold, and it entices people to go on down and take a look and see what's there. Hopefully that's what you want them to do. You want them to spend as much time on your site as possible. And of course, on the blog itself, I've got all these other things, and we can talk a little bit more at some time about what they are. But Ray has a lot of opinions about these things too. But you know, I've got other things for people to go do, to go opt in, to go find my ebook, or to buy one of my products, etc. Quite honestly, this stuff isn't working real well right now. This one is beginning to work a little bit better. I'm getting more people opting in and downloading the book. Just somebody downloaded it this morning, so that is helping. Continuing on alone, BuzzSumo. Let me skip over that, come back to it in a minute. And the reason is because I'm going to go off the website, go to a different website. But your About You page.
Lynn, Larry's got a question.
Yeah.
But
can you read?
He didn't say what the question was.
Okay. Let me finish. I'll tell you what, Larry, go ahead and type the question into the chat, or we'll come over and bring you across in just a moment. Let me finish up these 2 or 3 things, and then we'll come back, okay? Unless you type it into the chat and Bill can read it to me. Your About You page wants to use the word you instead of the word I. Don't spend, the message here is, don't spend a lot of time on your About You page telling your potential client about you. Talk to your potential client about what you offer them. So make them feel like you are talking to them and talking about their needs and what you can do to help them rather than describing your life and what you want. Yes, it is about you, but when somebody comes to your About You page, they are partially interested in you, but they're mostly interested in what you can do for them. So that's really where the focus of that wants to be. Another really key point that Ray made, if you have a sales page, the only option on the sales page is buy. And I'm gonna go to my dashboard for a minute. I want to show you something here. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. I'm going to go to my pages, and I'm going to go to the sales page. I'm going to pick a sales page for something. I don't know what. Doesn't matter. And it's over on the second set of pages. The Ultimate University purchase page. Okay, fine. Notice this is the purchase page for Ultimate University. The sidebar is gone. There is no sidebar. There is nothing on that page. The only thing you can do on that page besides leave the page is scroll down and make a purchase. Can't do anything else. And that was something that I had these sales pages. I had the sidebars on and all the other things. Too distracting. It's one of these things that, you know, it seems obvious once it's mentioned to you, but I didn't think about it. So I think it's a really good point. So if you have sales pages, just clean them up, get all the crap off of them. Because when they come to the sales page, you only want them to take one action only. Another point he made is to make sure that you have bonuses on any sales page. Stack up the bonuses so people feel like they're getting a really good deal. And the number one point of a blog is to get leads, period, full stop. So those are some interesting little tidbits. Let me go to BuzzSumo. If you've not gone out there, it's interesting. Free service, although there are paid versions of it. And what you can do is enter a topic like how to become an expert. And what happens then is that you can pop up within the thing, filtered by date within the last day, week, month, year, articles, other things other people have written on that or similar topics. So you can find out what other people are writing about the keywords you're using, and you can find infographics, you can find articles, and in using BuzzSumo, you can also find authority sites that, once again, you can log on, you can click on an article like this one, for example. I'm not sure Parenting Expert is going to be appropriate to what I'm writing about, but we can scroll down here, and I'm not going to start clicking on these articles, but you get the point. You can scroll down here, how to become an Instagram advertising expert. That could be interesting. How to become an expert in any topic. Anyhow, we can scroll down here, we can click on articles, we can look at articles, we can see what other people are ranking for, and perhaps even find another authority site or two where we can quote something from one of these articles and then link out to it. So I'm going to come back to the Google Hangout, and I'm going to stop the screen share. Larry. Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? Larry. You just brought up several really good questions. Let me go back. I'm going to actually go back to screen share. We have a few minutes. I may run a couple minutes over. Let me go back to the screen share here, and And let me go back to the main, let's see, let me just go to the dashboard so I can get back to the main site. There's several things here. One is that I believe that continue reading or read more is set in settings. It's set in settings, and I believe it's setting the reading settings. I have to go down and look through these. I think it's a consequence of the settings on this page, where it can have up to 10 blogs on a page. Now I tell it for each article in the feed show the full text, but I think, you know what, Larry, I'm not being 100. I know I'm not being 100% positive about this, but I think it comes from these settings here, where it decides. And I'm not sure which one it is. I might have to scroll through these. So it is not a plugin that's controlling that feature. It's in the settings. And rather than waste any more time with it, if you can't figure out how to do that, we can play with it. And it could be theme dependent. It could be something that has to do with the theme you're using, but I don't think it is. I think it's in appearances, or not in appearances, rather in settings. So you got to go look over here and see if you can figure it out. Let me come back to the site. There's a couple other things that I want to point out. Come on, behave yourself. Some of the other features here and things that you want to be sure you've got. This little guy scrolling up and down. This is a plugin called Dig. We've talked about it before, and if you don't have it, you ought to have it. And I just actually reconfigured my Dig today to get a couple things out of it that I didn't like and put things in that I did want. So, for example, I now have Pin It in there, which I didn't used to have. So I can pin the blog, LinkedIn, Google Plus, and the Facebook like and tweet. So this is a plugin that you definitely want to have. Another plugin that I have that you definitely want to have is the Facebook likes box. So that's what this is. It is a Facebook likes box. And then the third one that I'm using is this tweet, click to tweet. That again, this is not another one that Ray recommends. I don't think this one's available over on sites. I think this is one of the ones they haven't made available to us, but it's certainly available over here. And then the share plugin. So was there a comment? Okay, so you want to make sure you've got those plugins in there too, so that people can share your material and they can retweet it and do things to it. So I need to go to sites. Why is that? Yeah, do they have it on sites? Okay, Chris. Yeah, the sites question is a really tough one. The reason I haven't moved everything over to sites yet is because I am getting traffic over here now. And I have, because you said so, okay. As many of you know, I am paying Justice Egan for some coaching. And his strong recommendation was to not dilute myself by trying to run 2 websites right now, that if I was getting traffic on this site, to stay with the traffic and build it and get leads and try to get it going rather than starting fresh again, because it takes several months to build up a new website and start to get traffic. So that's the dilemma I have. I'm right there on the cusp of that. And I decided, since I'm paying Justice for his coaching, that I should be coachable and listen to him. Otherwise, what am I paying him for? So that's where I am right now. My website is up over on sites. I do have 3 blog posts over there. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I wish that, if my site, BlynnMoody.com, wasn't as far along as it is, then I would definitely go over to sites 100%. So that's my dilemma. And I don't, it's not clean. It's not clear that there's a right answer to that. And besides that, my site is really big. I have the membership site there, which we haven't really used, but we have yeah, I have the membership site there. I have the affiliate site there, and I can't move those things over to MLSP because those are plugins that, MLSP will not let you put in new plugins that they haven't installed. And I don't blame them. They're protecting the integrity of sites. So my affiliate site and this is another strong reason for me staying with linlindy.com right now where it is. My affiliate site and my membership site wouldn't transfer. I wouldn't be able to transfer them as I understand. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. I'm going to pick up on Thursday and go down through where does Ray distribute all his stuff to, and how does he distribute it, and we'll talk about that then. So unless there's any more questions or comments, I'm going to wait for just a few seconds, and I hope you got some value out of this. And Larry, you're setting up sites. Cool. It's really a good thing. If you don't already have a blog up, sites is really the way to go. Alrighty then. Well, you folks all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Thursday at same time, same station. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the broadcast. Thanks, Bill, for coming over.
You're welcome.
We'll talk to you guys again. Bye for now.